These are instructions to put the Skull Dog together. What you're going to need is a hot glue gun, blue painter's tape, and all the pieces of the Skull Dog. First, to attach the skull cap, you're going to use the painter's tape to tape the skull cap to the skull. I'm making sure it's aligned in the front and aligned in the back. And then I tape it down on both sides. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can see that it's aligned mostly, but the most important part is the front being aligned. Then, with the hot glue gun, there's a seam from the inside all along here that you need to glue. I recommend starting from the front right here to make sure that that's in place, and then work towards the outside. And it doesn't have to be perfect. No one's going to see this side when you're wearing it, and it doesn't have to be thick. Just a small layer. And once you get to the edge, you have a little bit of room to adjust it. So I'd look at the top and make sure that it's adjusted and aligned properly. And I would just hold it there just to make sure that it cools down properly and doesn't move. As you can see, I haven't done this side yet, so this side is still moving, but this side looks pretty good. Alright. I know it hasn't cooled yet, but I'm going to do the other side. There we go. As you can see, it's not perfect because I can still adjust it a little bit. So I'm going to go to the top, make sure that it's aligned. I'm just going to hold it there until the glue dries or cools down. It should just take about a minute. If you want to help it cool faster, you can blow on it. It also helps if you make the strip thinner because it'll dry faster. So you can actually use the tip of the head to kind of, I'm not putting any extra glue on it, I'm just smoothing it out. And we're going to set this on the side now, and then we're going to work on the elastic. Actually, I'm just going to wait for it to cool first. It'll be more resilient that way. And right here in the center is completely cool to touch. And I believe it's cool, so I'm going to work on the elastic to make it top jaw. So to make it this a top jaw, you need to tie, to make the mouth move, you need to tie these two holes together to this big hole. Two big jaw holes to the middle skull hole. To do this, I actually thread it through the skull hole first and leave some out, and then I thread through the lower jaw hole, and I thread the top piece of elastic through the top piece of the jaw hole. And then when you tie them together, you don't need to tie it very tight. In fact, a little bit looser might be a little bit better. Right? Tied it kind of loose. And now I'm going to do the other side. I'll do this side. Like before, I'll stick it through the skull hole first. And you just push that through. And then stick it through the bottom jaw, or the bottom of the bigger holes for the bottom jaw. And then stick it through the top one, through the top hole. Slipped out. That's okay. Bottom. Okay. And then now tie it loosely. And part of the reason you want to tie it in loosely is so you can adjust it. If you need it tighter or less tight, but if you tie it really hard at the beginning, it's very hard to undo this. So now there's these two smaller holes that are in the front on both sides. Now you need to loop it through both of those. So I put it through the jaw, or the skull, sorry. And then we can loop it through the jaw. And a trick I do is I fold this and I stick it in there. And that'll help. Then I'll tie this, again loosely. This one is even more important to do loosely, because if you tie it too tight, you won't be able to articulate the jaw and you won't be able to talk with it. So I'm going to do it on this side now. And now open the jaw, stick it in, folding it again. And now we can tie this together loosely. Awesome. Now we have this last hole on both sides. That is for this big elastic. You can fold that. And you push it through the hole, and that should be enough to hold it. If you want, you can hot glue this together, and it'll make it a stronger strap, or you can sew it. And on the other side, same thing. You stick it through the hole. I kind of roll this one together. Stick it through the hole. and then you can pull this to however you need so you can wear it. Lastly, I would remove the tape. And you have a assembled Skulldog. So there's a couple other things that you can do. Some people use this hole at the top and put another elastic band, and they put it through there and attach it to this band, and that'll give you more support over your head. Also, if you're having trouble getting this to talk while it's on your jaw, you can put another elastic band that goes from one side to another and hot glue it on both sides, and that should support your jaw. And I'm going to put a piece of tape there so you see what it looks like. You would want to attach it from here to here, and that will support your jaw if you use it with elastic or foam. Don't do it with this tape. This is just for example. All right. Good luck assembling your jaw.